Hello everyone and welcome to another video review. Here I have the Transformers Generations Combiner Wars figure Silverbolt, which was released not too long ago. It was actually part of Wave 1 of the Transformers Generations Combiner Wars line. As you can see, this figure comes transforming his robot mode and it looks great. We can also see that the Transformers Generations Combiner Wars line feature a newly designed box. I'm gonna bring it closer to the camera. And right here we can see a nice art graphic design of Silverbolt. And on the side of the box we see another awesome graphic design of Superion. And now I'm gonna rotate this around real quick. And on the backside view of the box, we get to see more pictures of Silverbolt transforming his robot mode and into his jet mode. We also get to see more pictures of other figures that are gonna be released under the Combiner Wars line. And now let's get this figure out of the box. And here I have Silverbolt out of the package. As you can see, this is a very nice Voyager class figure. It features a very nice G1 design. The paint job and all of the details applying to the plastic makes it look great. In the Transformers Generation 1 series, Silverbolt is the leader of the Aerialbots and can combine with them to form the mighty Superion. Now one thing that I want to mention is that in the Transformers Generation 1 series, this section right here is actually painted yellow and not orange. Now, as you can see, this is a really cool figure. I really like the design and I'm actually very happy with the quality of this figure. Now I'm going to rotate it around so you get to see the backside view of this figure. And despite the fact that we actually have this section right here, this figure doesn't have any issues standing alone. And that is because the design of the feet is actually really good. Now I'm going to show you the weapons that come with this figure. And the first one is going to be this gun right here, which is actually very simple in design and it only features one color. But it looks good as it is. Now this is a really cool weapon and I'm going to set this aside real quick because I'm going to show you the other accessory that comes with Silverbolt, and it's this one right here, and it can actually be used as a shield or kind of, and if you want you can attach it right over here on the sides, or you can actually use it right over here on the hands as well. Now one thing about this little accessory is that you can actually attach these two weapons together, forming a larger gun, and it can be used once Silverbolt is combined with the other Aerialbots to form Superion. Now I'm gonna set this aside real quick because I want to show you the details of this figure, and we're gonna start with the head sculpt. And honestly, the head sculpt of this figure is just amazing. It definitely resembles the Generation 1 looks of Silverbolt. It features a very nice paint scheme and a lot of details. Now we can see more details right here in the chest section of this figure, and as you can see, the design of this figure is just awesome. It definitely is a model representation of Silverbolt. Now we can see more details right here in the chest section, such as the symbol of the Aerialbots right here painted silver. And actually this section right here seems to be the antennas of the head sculpt of Superion. And honestly, I haven't transformed this figure once yet because I just got it delivered today and I can't wait to transform it. Now I'm going to show you more details right here in the leg section of this figure, and we can see more details sculpted right here in the plastic, and there's actually another Aerialbot symbol right here. And as you can see, the design of this figure is actually really good. I'm actually very happy that I get to add it to my collection. Now I want to show you the articulation for this figure, which is actually very tight. We're going to start with the head sculpt, which can be moved up and down without any issues and can be rotated 360 degrees. The articulation for the arms are on a ratchet and they can be rotated 360 degrees without any issues, and it actually feels really tight. The arms can be also moved to the sides, and there is also an arm swivel right here which allows you to rotate this section 360 degrees. The articulation for the elbow is actually right here. It's not using a pin, it is actually using a screw, and the articulation is really good. It's all the way up to 90 degrees. Now the articulation for the fist, there's actually no articulation for it. However, it features a very nice design. Now this figure doesn't have any articulation on the waist, but the articulation for the legs is also very tight and it can be moved in many different directions. As you can see, there's also a swivel right over here, and it does have a very nice articulation for the knee, as you can see. So as you can see, the quality of the articulation of this figure is really good, and I definitely think that Hasbro did a great job with this figure. Now I'm gonna bring some other figures from my collection for a quick size comparison. And for our first size comparison, here I have Silverbolt right next to Combiner Wars Optimus Prime. And as you can see, these two figures look really nice. They both feature a very nice paint scheme and a lot of details. Now I'm gonna move them front to front, and you can see the size difference between these two figures. And honestly, I really like the design of this mold right here that is being used for Optimus Prime. But as you know, it's also gonna be used for Motor Master. Now I'm gonna move Optimus Prime out of the way. And for our next size comparison, here I have Red Alert from the Transformer Generations line. And as you can see right here, Silverbolt is definitely in scale with the Transformer Generations and Classics line. Now I'm gonna move them front to front, so you have a better idea of the size of the figure Silverbolt, which is a Voyager class figure. Now I'm gonna move Red Alert out of the way. And for this size comparison, here I have Silverbolt next to our Transformers Classics and Generations figure. And we have the Toys R Us exclusive figure Optimus Prime, Leader class Jetfire, and the Legend class figures Powerglide and Windcharger. So as you can see, this figure definitely looks awesome right next to other Transformer Generations and Classics figures. And now I'm gonna move all of these figures out of the way because I'm gonna transform Silverbolt into his alternative mode. And now I'm gonna transform Silverbolt into his alternative mode, which is a supersonic jet. But first I wanna show you the collector's card that comes included with this figure. And as you can see right here, it features a very nice graphic art of Silverbolt. On the backside view, we can see the logo of the Aerialbots, and it also says Transformer Generations. Now the quality of this card is actually really good, and I'm gonna set it aside here real quick. Now as far as transforming this figure, the transformation process is actually very simple. It actually surprised me how simple it is to transform this figure. The first thing I did, as you can see, is I hide the head right over here under the chest panel section. Now the arms, I'm gonna fold them down this way, and I'm gonna move them up, just like so, and we're gonna leave them this way for now. Now what I'm going to do with this section right here is these side panels right here, we're going to lift it towards the side and we're going to fold the feet. We're going to do the exact same thing with the other feet. We're going to fold it down and we're going to push it right in here. Now this section right here with the legs, we're just going to fold it up just like so. And as you can see right over here, there's a little hole, and we're going to make sure that this section right here taps in properly. And now we're going to fold this right in here. And honestly, I'm actually very surprised with the transformation of this figure. It is very simple. Now I'm gonna do the exact same thing over here, and now the arm section, we're just gonna lower it down just like so, this way. Now as you can see, this vehicle is taking shape. Now we're just gonna lower down the wings right over here, and we're gonna fix this section right over here. And now once we lower this section right here, which is the landing gear of this figure, that's the entire transformation for Silverbolt. And here I have Silverbolt transforming to his alternative mode, which is a supersonic jet. And that is ironic because Silverbolt is afraid of heights. As you saw earlier, the transformation of this figure was very simple and it didn't even take me 2 minutes. Now, once this figure is transforming to his alternative mode, it looks very nice. The first thing I'm going to show you about this figure is the weapons, and as you can see, they can be attached right in this section right here. And once you do that, this figure looks awesome, I gotta tell you that. Now one thing I want to mention is that the landing gear of this figure is actually very simple. As you can see, it's just this piece of plastic that was sculpted right over here. Now once you add the weapons right here, they actually designed it such a way that it gives you the impression that there's like a little wheel right over here. And I really think that that is a very nice feature. Now I'm going to remove these weapons and I'm going to set them aside because I want to show you the landing gear of this figure, which is located right over here. And all you have to do is just lower this down. And as you can see, it is a very nice feature. It actually has a very nice design and a lot of details. Now unfortunately, any of the wheels move because as you can see, they have been sculpted into the plastic. Another thing I want to mention about this figure is that, as you can see, they didn't really try hard hiding the body of this figure because honestly, if you put this figure this way, you can see the supersonic jet, but if you flip it upside down, you can see the entire body of Silverbolt, minus the head of course. Now that doesn't really bother me because I think this figure looks great anyway. Now I'm going to show you the details of this figure once transformed into his jet mode. We're going to start with the nose cone of this figure, which is actually very nice. We can see all of the details sculpted right into the plastic all over the cabin. You can even see like a little door and all of the windows. Now one thing about the nose cone right here is that this section right here is made out of a soft rubber. Now another thing is that unlike this other side, you can actually see the screws right here that were put through the plastic. Now on the other side right here of the wings, we can actually see more details sculpted right into the plastic. We can even see the turbines right over here and two Aerialbot logos, one on each side of the wings. Now this is what this figure looks like from the backside view. We can see more engines right over here. So as you can see, this is a really cool figure once he transforms into his alternative mode or into his robot mode. Now this section right here doesn't really bother me because the way I look at it is a very nice homage to the Generation 1 toy. And now I'm gonna bring some other figures from my collection for another size comparison. And for this size comparison, here we have Silverbolt right next to the 2013 CybertronCon exclusive figure Jetfire, also known as Skyfire. And as you can see, these two figures are Voyager class, and they feature a very similar size. Now I'm gonna move them this way, so you have a better idea of the size of the figure of Silverbolt once it transforms into its alternative mode. Now I'm gonna move Jetfire out of the way. And for this size comparison, here I have Silverbolt right next to the 2013 Botcom exclusive figure Sunstorm. Now I'm gonna move them front to front. And as you can see, the size difference between these two figures is very obvious. Silverbolt is a Voyager class figure. Now let's get Sunstorm out of the way. And for this size comparison, here we have Silverbolt right next to the Transformers Collectors Club exclusive figure Run Amok. And as you can see, the size difference is very big. Silverbolt is a Voyager class figure. Now I'm gonna move him this way so you have a better idea of the size of this figure. And now let's move Run Amok out of the way. And now I'm gonna transform Silverbolt into the chest section of Superion. One more time, the transformation is very simple. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna fold this down, and we're gonna lower the head into this section, and we're gonna fold it back in. Now what I'm gonna do with the arms is that we're gonna fold them, we're gonna rotate them around 360 degrees, just like so, and we're gonna leave them this way. Now what I'm gonna do with the leg section is pretty much the same as if we were gonna transform this figure back into its alternative mode. We're gonna fold this panel towards the side, and we're gonna fold this in right in here. Now we're gonna fold this section in here, and we're gonna make sure that this section right here taps in properly, just like I demonstrated before. Now this section right here in the middle is gonna be open. However, it's a little bit complicated for me, so what I've been doing is I've been using this little tool right here, which is actually a thermometer, but it works just fine for me. So now I'm gonna fold this section up, and this is gonna reveal the awesome head sculpt of this figure. And I'm gonna show you the details in a little bit, but as you can see, the head sculpt of this figure is just fantastic. Now this section right here, this panel, we're gonna move it, or we're gonna fold it all the way up, just like so. And if this section don't want to go up, just make sure that the head is being pushed all the way towards the back, and this is gonna make this panel go up without any issues. Now this section right here, these panels, we're gonna fold them towards the middle section, and we want to make sure that they tap in properly, just like so. Now all we have to do is this section right here with the fist, we're gonna fold them towards the back, and this is gonna reveal the connectors to plug the legs. Now this section right here, we're gonna fold this down, and that is pretty much the entire transformation. And here we have Silverbolt transforming to the chest and head of Superion. As you saw, the transformation was very simple. It was even easier than when I transformed this figure into its alternative mode. Once we have this figure transformed this way, it looks just fantastic. I have to admit that the looks of this figure and the colors applied reminds me of the looks of Superion from the Marvel comics from the 80s. The quality of this figure and the size is awesome. I'm gonna bring this closer to the camera. And again, the head sculpt of this figure is just fantastic. Now one thing I want to mention about the head sculpt is that as you can see, the antennas, they're supposed to be standing up straight forward. However, it seems that that's not possible. And I think that is because this is actually made out of a soft rubber, and once this figure is transformed into his robot mode, you can actually see him coming through the chest section. Now I'm gonna rotate this around real quick, and another thing I want to mention is that even when this figure is transformed into the chest section of Superion, it is very large. It is actually the size of a Voyager class figure. Honestly, I would have loved to compare this figure right next to Green Giant and Warlord, but unfortunately I don't have them combined into their Gestal mode. However, here for a quick size comparison, I have the Classics Optimus Prime. So as you can see, even when it's transformed into the torso of Superion, it is larger than this figure. Now I'm gonna move them front to front, so we can only expect this figure to be a very nice big combiner. And now that we have seen Silverbolt transform into his alternative mode, his robot mode, and into the torso of Superion, I want to say that this is a really cool figure. It has a very nice quality, and all of the articulation is very tight. The transformation was very simple, and as you can see, the colors applied and all of the details sculpted into the plastic make this figure look great. Now once Hasbro released the other 4 Aerialbots, we will be able to combine this figure into the mighty Superion, and that will definitely be a great addition to any Transformers collection. And with this, I conclude this video review of the Transformers Generations Combiner Wars figure Silverbolt. This is Magnetar Prime, thank you for watching, until next time. If you like this Transformers video review, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Magnetar Prime, or stop by my Facebook page, Magnetar Prime Reviews. This is Magnetar Prime, until next time.